So howdy everybody, we're here at the Fred House. We don't have the lights on yet. Rich is, I think, on his way downstairs to do the introduction. He was upstairs selling a guitar. It's hard to argue with that. So he's going to turn on the lights right now and come up and do a little introduction, and we'll start the show. I want to move this. What do I need to do here? I think that looks a little better. So here's Rich Seymour.
All right. Oh. Whew. Hi, everybody, and welcome to the Fred House. In the middle of a busy day of selling guitars upstairs. The store is open and stocked, and if you need anything in the way of guitars or guitar parts or guitar repairs, please come on by and see us. But otherwise, we have a little bit of a return to live music here in our downstairs with our friend Rick Shea, getting ready to do a concert here in our basement, streaming out live to friends and fans on the internet. We got a couple of people down here. Hi, everybody. Actual audience sound, folks, if you haven't heard it in a while. Well, heck, I got to get back upstairs and I think maybe sell an amplifier. So thanks a lot for coming, everyone who's here and everyone who's online. And would you please welcome Rick Shea.
Thank you very much. And hopefully they don't have to try out the amplifier for
Oh, yes, that's right.
an extended length of time. Well, they may have to. That's just part of this. So generally the shows have always been at 8 p.m., kind of long after the store closes. The store generally closed at 6 o'clock on Saturdays, and the concerts were generally always on Saturdays. So things are a little bit different because I'm doing this live on Facebook, and a lot of people in a lot of different time zones. On the East Coast, it already is 8 p.m., and other parts of the world, of course, it's much later or possibly much earlier. So anyhow, as you can see, and as Rich said, we're doing this live from the Fred House. This is the third time, I believe. I started in November, and the intention then was to do the first Saturday of the month here at the Fred House, and it didn't work out for a couple of months after that because of this pandemic that we're going through, but the numbers have gotten good again, and we did this last month and this month, and I'll continue doing the first Saturday of the month here. And a couple of things about the Fred House. I think I talked about this last month, just a few of the people that have played here. The Fred House has been here in Covina for more than 50 years and has had concerts the entire time. Merle Travis, Elizabeth Cotton, and others have played. I think that was the earlier location, but at this location, John Fahey, Ramblin' Jack Elliott, John Stewart, Peter Case we talked about earlier, my friend David Olney, and many, many other people have all graced this stage here where I am. So it's a wonderful little room, wonderful little acoustic concert room here in downtown Covina. And I'm very, very proud to be playing here and to be a part of the family here. I actually work here, or did work here, up until the pandemic last March. I stopped working here then, and they went to a skeleton crew. And we're just waiting to see how things kind of sort out. I imagine I'll be back here at some point. But I'll start out and do some songs here. I talked to my brother Dan a couple of weeks ago, and he's back in Shelter Valley. He had moved away from Shelter Valley for a number of years, 5 or 6 years, just one valley over there to Mason Valley. And both of these, Shelter Valley and Mason Valley, are both in eastern San Diego County, very close to Anza Borrego and the desert there, and Salton Sea in that area. My brother Dan has lived out there for a number of years, but as I said, he's moved back to Shelter Valley but the way I understand it, he might not be there for long. So he may be moving on. I haven't heard back from him. And I'm sorry about that on a personal level, just because I wrote a song called Shelter Valley Blues. So for poetic reasons, I like to be able to say that my brother Dan lives there. And I believe he is there right now. So a number of years ago, I went in, it's a beautiful area. It's remote and pretty desolate, but a beautiful desert area. And a number of years ago, a few years back, I went and visited my brother Dan there and spent a little bit of time with him. And I came back and I wrote this song. And it's not really about him, I wouldn't say, but it's about a guy kind of like my brother Dan, kind of a hard-edged loner kind of guy. This is called the Shelter Valley Blues. Well, I've seen storms that roll across this lonesome valley. Felt thunder rattle right down to my floor. Laid awake and heard the howling of the coyotes out prowling in the dust and devils right outside my door. They say this ain't no place for fools and dreamers, but a foolish dream is all I've ever known. I came looking here for shelter from the sun and sand and swelter, and the trouble that still haunts me to my bones. While I walked into the fire, slightly stoned and slightly wired, tried to lose myself in mescaline and booze. Now I've got no recollection of my death or resurrection, but I damn sure got these Shelter Valley Blues. Yeah, I damn sure got these Shelter Valley Blues. Yeah, I've seen them come for sinning for salvation, like pilgrims stumble through a field of stone. Pretty soon you see him fall, pretty soon you see him crawl, pretty soon you see him leaving here alone. And she always said someday she'd try to find me. And she said no matter what that she'd be true. Forgotten all those lies, the truth was written in her eyes, and anyway I've got no more that I can lose. While I walked into the fire, slightly stoned and slightly wired, tried to lose myself in mescaline and booze. Now I've got no recollection of my death or resurrection, but I damn sure got Shelter Valley Blues. Yeah, I walked into the fire, slightly stoned and slightly wired, trying to lose myself in mescaline and booze. I've got no recollection of my death or resurrection, but I damn sure got these Shelter Valley Blues. Yeah, I damn sure got these Shelter Valley Blues. Thank you, everybody. So, as we mentioned, we have a few friends here downstairs in the Fret House. And thank you all for tuning in and watching on the internet. Appreciate that a lot. Does everything kind of seem... Susie is here this week, or this month. Last month, she wasn't able to join me here. We were in a 2-month process of replacing the fence in our backyard. It turned into every kind of nightmare and difficulty that it possibly could have, I imagine, anyhow. I should knock on wood. It may have been, maybe it could have been worse. But anyhow, for most of that time, we had no fence between our yard and the neighbor's yard, so we couldn't leave our dog alone. And we're quite ready to commit to bringing her down here. She travels pretty well, but wasn't really sure how she would do here. Katie does good in most places, but so anyhow, Susie wasn't here last month, and she is here. So as everything seemed to sound good on the internet, good.
Yep, looking good.
I'll say hi to a few people as we go. I'm going to go back a little ways and do a song from an album that first came out as called Sawbones, and then re-released it. I remixed it and re-released it with some extra songs and called it Bound for Trouble, and that was a release on Tres Pescadores. Fine record label. My friend Tim is here tonight with Cheryl, his girlfriend Cheryl, and most of my releases, all of my releases since that time have all been on Tres Pescadores. It's been a wonderful relationship. So this song goes back a few years. My friend Wyman Reese sent me the lyric to this song, and I put it to music and added a little bit of the lyrics, I think. This is called Emperor of the North, and it's a bit of a train. It's actually, the lyric was inspired by a fellow by the name of Bob Simmons. That he was a father of a friend that Wyman had grown up with around here, I think. And he had ridden the rails when he was younger, when he was very young, during the Great Depression. He had ridden as kind of a hobo sort of a thing, looking for work, as many people did, and he was actually featured in a film called Riding the Rails as Guitar Whitey. He called himself Guitar Whitey, so that's the inspiration for this song. It's called Emperor of the North. Lost John said, son, here's the deal. We'll share everything that we can steal. Well, it's a 60-40 proposition. Given your green looks and poor condition, you can take this split or leave it if you choose. Do things no family man could hope to do. Saying it's the best of life, yeah, but I've seen worse with too mean wives. Well, these boxcar beds, they creak and pitch. It's chancy work, you won't get rich. And them railroad dicks don't ever treat you kind. But a freer man you'll never hope to find. I'm a king where I hold court. I'm the emperor of the north. If I have to, I'll just slip right through the cracks. I'm the freest blowing bastard. Sometimes forward, sometimes backwards. I come in From the New York yard to the coal station, there's scattered souls across this nation. Yeah, but honest cheap with thieves like us. Don't turn your back on them you trust. We'll live like jacks before this ride is through. Do things no family man could hope to do. Well, I'm a king where I hold court. I'm the emperor of the north. If I have to, I'll just slip right through the cracks. I'm the freest flowing bastard. Sometimes forward, sometimes backwards. I come and go, but my soul's tied to these tracks. Well, I'm a king where I hold court. I'm the emperor of the north. If I have to, I'll just slip right through the cracks. Well, I'm the freest flowing bastard. Sometimes forward, sometimes backwards. I come and go, but my soul's tied to these tracks. Thank you very much, and thank you everybody out there. And thank you to everybody last week that hung in. We had a kind of a rough start due to technical difficulties and user error. Both combined to really mess things up, and we started about 15 or 20 minutes late. And when we finally did start, I think we started with no sound somehow. And I'm not even sure how that happened. So my apologies again. And thank you all who stayed tuned in. Stay tuned in. The last show 2 weeks ago was actually the 1 year anniversary of doing these shows. I had started on March 21st of last year. So. And relatively few bugs and errors, so I really can't complain. Although they did all seem to gang up at the last show. So I'll do another song from that same era. This album, my friend Brantley Kearns was very involved, and especially on this song, he played and sang just beautifully. Brantley and I made an album together, also for Tres Pescadores, called Trouble in Me. That's a wonderful, wonderful album, if you can find it. There are copies available occasionally, but it's out of print. And but if you were interested in that album, if you contacted either me or Tim, we would make sure you got a download version of that album. So this song is called Walkin' to Jerusalem. I'm walking to Jerusalem, my head is hanging low, 40 miles behind me, I got 40 miles to go. I don't know where I'm traveling, I don't know what I'll find, but each step takes me further from the ones I left behind. Mother, hear me call, sister, hear my cry. The hills rise up before, shadows fill the sky. I'm walking to Jerusalem, I'm walking all alone. I'm walking to Jerusalem, trying to find my way home. I'm walking to Jerusalem. My head is hanging low. 40 miles behind me. I got 40 miles to go. I don't know where I'm traveling. I don't know what I'll find. But each step takes me further from the ones I left behind. Mother, hear me call. Sister, hear my cry. The hills rise up before me. Shadows fill the sky. I'm walking to Jerusalem. I'm walking all alone. I'm walking to Jerusalem. Trying to find my way home. Thank you very much. We lost the week before last, a wonderful, wonderful friend, dear friend to so many of us, and really, truly one of the finest musicians here in Southern California and really everywhere. He played all over the world. But Don Heffington left us just the week before last, and so we certainly send that out to Don and his memory and all of us, really, because really, when you get down to it, we're all just walking to Jerusalem. But that song was the first song that I recorded, or first song that I wrote, excuse me, in the house where we live now. And I had just bought this guitar, not this guitar, but this red Martin that I tour with. So I'm sure some of you have seen it. It's been all over the country and all over the world with me. It's been a wonderful, wonderful traveling companion. But I had just bought that guitar from my friend Dave Alvin and brought it home. And that song kind of fell out of the guitar in a kind of mysterious and wonderful way. But I'm going to do a few songs off of the new album. My new album is called Love and Desperation, and I didn't grab a copy to hold up here and show, but I have in the past weeks. It's available online many, many places, from my website, from the website at Tres Pescadores. It's available at Amazon, and has gotten just wonderful, wonderful reviews. I've been very, very happy, and a lot of airplay. So this is the first song on the album. This is called Blues Stop Knocking at My Door, and it's written by a fellow by the name of Al Ferrier, a Louisiana fellow that is in the Rockabilly Hall of Fame and is well known kind of in the area where he came from, sort of central Louisiana. The song is kind of well known in that area, West Texas, from a fellow by the name of Lazy Lester is where I learned it. A wonderful version. So this is called Blues Stop Knocking at My Door. Blues stop knocking at my door. Can't you see my heart is sore? Blues stop knocking at my door. What chance has this heart of mine? I keep losing all the time. Blues stop knocking at my door. Oh, why can misery set me free and let my love come back to me? Everything I do is wrong. In a crowd, I'm all alone. Blues stop knocking at my door. Why should I feel so blue? I've tried so hard to be true. Blues stop knocking at my door. Send my lover back to me. Yeah, no more will there be blues knocking at my door. Oh, why can't misery set me free and let my love come back to me? Send my lover back to me, and no more will there be blues knocking at my door. Oh, why can't misery set me free and let my love come back to me? Send my lover back to me. Yeah, no more will there be blues knocking at my door. Send my lover back to me. Yeah, no more will there be blues knocking at my door. Yeah, blues knocking at my door. Oh, blues, stop knocking at my door. Thank you very much. So I do have a little announcement. I actually have a live show booked for next month on May 22nd. This will be my first, not counting these, which sort of count also, but one that's entirely just the live show and not being on Facebook Live, I guess. So out at Last Name Brewery out there, is that in Upland, honey?
Yes.
It's in Upland, which is not too far from here. Wonderful little brewery, wonderful beer there. So I believe you have to make reservations. It's limited, and I'm just getting the details right now, so it's not posted on my website yet. But as soon as I get the details, hopefully this week I'll start to post some of the details. So Last Name Brewery in Brewing. Last Name Brewing is in the city of Upland. They have a wonderful ale called Pomona Queen. It's kind of my favorite there for a couple of reasons. Because my friend Jerry O'Sullivan in Claremont, if I have the story right, I think Jerry's song came first. I remember I recorded on this song many years ago, so I think if I may have the sequence wrong. So, but Jerry wrote a song called Pomona Queen, and then there was a book, and it's a wonderful book. He's kind of a local writer. I've forgotten his name. I apologize. Do you remember?
Kem Nunn.
Kim Nunn.
Kem, K-E-M, Kem.
Kem Nunn. Excuse me, Kem, but
A book called Pomona Queen. He also wrote that one about Tijuana Straits, right? Is that what that one was called? That was my favorite. Anyhow, I'm getting very off the subject. Anyhow, the book came, and then the beer came. So if I got the sequence correct, the song, and then the book, and then the beer. So I have a limited idea of success working in the music business where I do, kind of at a grassroots level, but that certainly qualifies. If I wrote a song and somebody wrote a book about it, or wrote a book with that title, and then somebody brewed a good beer with that name, I'd consider that pretty successful. So here's another song off of the new album, another blues. This is called Blues at Midnight. Blues at midnight, blues at dawn. The blues have been with me ever since you've been gone. I can't seem to shake them, they just keep hanging on. Blues at midnight ever since you've been gone. I can't stop crying, get no sleep. I can't lose these memories now, they're just mine to keep. A train in the distance with a long, lonesome moan reminds me my baby left me here all alone. I toss and turn and I walk the floor. I can't believe you won't come home anymore. The night winds whisper a sad, lonesome song. Blues at midnight ever since you've been gone. Blues at midnight ever since you've been gone. I toss and turn and I walk the floor. I can't believe you won't come home anymore. The night winds whisper a sad, lonesome song. Blues at midnight ever since you've been gone. Blues at midnight ever since you've been gone. Blues at midnight, blues at dawn. The blues have been with me ever since you've been gone. I can't seem to shake them, they just keep hanging on. Blues at midnight ever since you've been gone. Blues at midnight ever since you've been gone.
Thank you very much.
And thank you everyone on the internet and Facebook, on Facebook Live. I I should have mentioned about the gig, the show at Last Name Brewery. It is outside. It's completely outside. The stage is outside. They usually have catering trucks. So it's Saturday, May 22nd. And I also have another show that's booked a little later in the summer in August. My friend John Antich at his venue that's actually at his house. He calls it the Jacaranda Veranda. I'm not sure of the details on that, but I can post that. So one more song off of the new album. For now, I've got a few later, but I like to say that for better or worse, I got a lot of my musical education in bars and honky tonks. When I was younger, I kind of discovered that I could play in there was still a lot of these places out in San Bernardino where I grew up and where Susie and I lived at the time. We lived up in Crestline in a rickety old cabin that we loved, that was 100 years old at the time almost, and just beautiful. But it had 60 or 70 steps from the parking area where you had to go up and down. So after Matthew, our first son, was born, and all the equipment that comes along with kids, we gave up on the 60 or 70 stairs pretty quick and moved down to San Bernardino. But I had been playing the bars and the honky tonks down there for a while, and I kind of discovered that I could play these places. I had been playing with my own bands and little gigs here and there and weekend gigs, a lot up in the mountain area, Crestline. There were so many places that presented weekend music, and so I played all of those places, but the country bars and the honky tonks were steady 4, 5, 6, 7 nights a week. And I played them all in San Bernardino and then kind of moved on from there. Some of them were fairly rough places. I never had any trouble myself personally, but there were some rough characters there. But this song I kind of wrote sort of reimagining a lot of these people as characters from old blues songs and some of the old blues and folk musicians themselves. So this is called Down at the Bar at Gypsy Sally's, and Gypsy Sally, of course, is a reference to the song Tecumseh Valley from the great Townes Van Zandt. And I wanted to say one thing that earlier when I was talking about the people that had played here at the Fred House, I mentioned David Olney, and he was a friend of mine. And David I got to know David a little bit and played some shows with him, but I sort of briefly mentioned Peter Case. Peter Case is a wonderful friend of mine. I love Peter, and we've traveled a bit together on the trains, the train trips. So, and even Ramblin' Jack Elliott. I don't know if I can call him a friend, but I do know him a little bit. I had a wonderful rambling, long message from him on my phone machine for a long, long time. I did my best to save it, but technology moved ahead, and the phone machine either broke or we had to replace it. But we drove down to San Diego and played a show with Jack. I did. I opened the show, but Susie went with me year before last, 2 years ago.
Probably 2 or 3.
2 or 3 years ago, and he had David, what was the name with him?
The young Carradine.
The younger Carradine brother was with him.
Robert
Carradine was with him, and also Jack's cousin, who I met, was a wonderful guy. Anyhow, I'm dropping names. What am I doing? I'm going to sing a song here. This is called Down at the Bar at Gypsy Sally's. The bar at Gypsy Sally's, just to be cool, you'll be alright. You can pick your pills, or pick your poison, but man, you sure don't pick a fight. She's got a shotgun in the corner, she keeps a shiv behind the bar. And if someone tries to play some masquerade, man, they sure won't get too far. Down at the bar at Gypsy Sally's, Stagger Lee is shooting pool. Little Walter's in the alley, making a mess of some poor fool. Lightning's in the corner, Frankie Lee is with the band. Thelma pulls a pistol out, says she's going to shoot some man. You know it's not some grand illusion, yeah, it's not some wicked dream. The whiskey smells like dynamite, it tastes like kerosene. Down at the bar at Gypsy Sally's, no one ever asks your name. Delilah's taking numbers, no one seems to know the game. Caledonia drinking at the bar, the Wolfman's on the prowl. Just before the sun comes up, you might hear him start to howl. Down at the bar at Gypsy Sally's, down at the bar at Gypsy Sally's. Thank you very much. That's Down at the Bar at Gypsy Sally's. And speaking of the characters that I met in the bars, I also used to play with my friend Rhonda, who was one of the sweetest people you would ever want to know. She's sort of on the religious side, I guess. And I only say that because she played in all these bars, you know, all of the honky-tonks and everything for many, many years. So I played a lot of those with her off and on, but she also used to get some other private gigs and everything. But she got these gigs for a while. They always seemed to be around Christmas, but they were in the jails and the prisons. There in Chino, there's about 5 or 6 different prisons there. And so we would go in, and there were some regulations. You couldn't wear jeans, so I had to buy a pair of Dockers that I didn't own before that. And there was a lot of like checking everything out on the way in, the way out, and everything. But other than that, it was just sort of playing a gig. And so one time we were playing the main jail there in Chino, and I knew someone in the audience. Hey, Rick! So, what happened? You know, I asked him, and he was a guy that I knew from those places, and he was a nice guy. I liked him a lot, and he said, I don't know. He said, these guys, and they had this plan, and we were going to do this, and so all the trucks, I don't know if they still do, but in those days, they used to park the trucks waiting to unload or whatever. There was a bunch of different lots there in that area and out there in Ontario. So their plan was ripping off trucks, breaking into the back of trucks, and they got caught. And he ended up in Chino prison. And I never heard from him since. I hope he's out, doing okay. I'm going to go back to the album that we released in 2017 called The Town Where I Live, and this is the title track, and it's called The Town Where I Live. And a lot of people had a rough time the last year, the last 4 years, and a lot of places in the country even longer than that. So this is kind of about anybody that's had trouble looking for work and been in a place. Anyhow, you'll get what it's about. This is called The Town Where I Live. Hey, well, the town where I live is ragged and old, too hot in the summer and the winter's too cold. The daytimes are weary and the night brings you down. You could waste your whole life in this ragged old town. It works hard to find in the town where I live, and it all seems to take a lot more than it gives. They say you're too young, or they say you're too old, but the job's just been filled, boy, you're moving too slow. Hey, well, the town where I live, man, is ragged and old, too hot in the summer and the winter's too cold. The daytimes are weary and the night brings you down. You could waste your whole life in this ragged old town. A ghost in this town where I live, hanging out, hanging on, taking all I can get. Sometimes I wonder why I hang around here, but if you ain't got much choice and your choice is real clear, I might catch a ride, or I might jump a train, but I'd just be someplace where it all looks the same. Hey, well, the town where I live, man, is ragged and old, too hot in the summer and the winter's too cold. The daytimes are weary and the night brings you down. You could waste your whole life in this ragged old town. Hey, well, the town where I live, man, is ragged and old, too hot in the summer and the winter's too cold. The daytimes are weary and the night brings you down. You could waste your whole life in this ragged old town. Yeah, you could waste your whole life in this ragged old town. You could waste your whole goddamn life in this ragged old town. So So we shot a video. My friend Ron Resnick helped me, and I say he helped me. He did really all the work, but and part of it shot here at the Fret House. We did do a little footage down here on this stage. He didn't use it for whatever reason, but there's a little footage of me just singing along to this song in the store, outside the store, an old rundown lot that used to be there that's now condos, and elsewhere around in Covina. So you get a little bit of a little tour of Covina. A little bit of it's shot in my backyard, but there's not really anything to identify it. But I've made several videos. They're all available to see on my website. And Ron, my friend Ron, and my friend Will Seifert have been just very, very generous. Very, very talented videographers, both of them, and you can find all of those at my, as I said, at my website. I'll do another song off of that album, The Town Where I Live. This is a song called the Starkville Blues. And Starkville is a town in Mississippi with a bit of a black eye in their past. In 1965, they arrested Johnny Cash and they threw him in jail. And I've heard a couple of versions of the story about what happened, why it happened, but and some of them are really pretty wild. But I kind of chose to write this sort of from the point of view of Johnny Cash and try and imagine how he might have felt about the town of Starkville, Mississippi after he got out of jail. This is called the Starkville Blues. Well, if you go down to Starkville, you better lay your money down. Well, if you go down to Starkville, and you better lay your money down. Yeah, there ain't nothing free in Starkville. It's just a rough, dirty town. Hey, well, the people there in Starkville, they can treat you hard and treat you cold. Well, the people there in Starkville, they can treat you hard and treat you cold. Yeah, things are different there in Starkville. All the stories you've been told. Well, I knew a girl in Starkville. She was tough, she was mean. Well, I knew a girl in Starkville. Yeah, she was tough, she was mean. Yeah, she had the devil in her eyes and a pistol in her jeans. Yeah, well, I went down to Starkville. I had my guitar in my hand. Yeah, well, I went down to Starkville. I had my guitar in my hand. The sheriff there in Starkville, he took my guitar in my band. Well, if you go down to Starkville, and you better learn to sing the blues. Yeah, well, if you go down to Starkville, man, you better learn to sing the blues. People there in Starkville, all they get is just bad news. well, if you go down to Starkville, man, you better lay your money down. Yeah, there ain't nothing free in Starkville. It's just a rough and dirty town. Yeah, there ain't nothing free in Starkville. It's just a rough and dirty town. Starkville Blues, thank you very much. So I went to the dentist after a year. I don't know if you've all been putting that off like I had. It was a rugged experience. Fully Novocained up, and the gal did a great job. I have no complaints, but she was leaning into me like I was a farm animal. I thought she was going to put her foot up on my chest. But she was digging in, and she had the vibrating tool and everything. It was much worse than anything I'd ever experienced at the dentist's office. Took me a couple of days to recover. So don't put it off any longer than you have to. I'm going to do a song that goes back a few years called from an album called Sweet Bernadine, and that's the name of the song, Sweet Bernadine. I started to mention that Susie and I both grew up in San Bernardino, about 60 miles west of, Los Angeles, about 40 miles west of where we are here in Covina. What used to be the edge of the desert, it's pretty much started to thin out, but these days the urban sprawl continues pretty much all the way to Palm Springs and beyond. So everything gets filled up, I guess, but anyhow, I wrote this song a few years ago, kind of looking back at San Bernardino. It's a little bittersweet. If you know anything about San Bernardino, in the last 30, 40 years, really the time, since the time that we lived there, it's been in the news for always the wrong reasons, which is heartbreaking to all of us that have family ties there and grew up there and everything. I believe it's bouncing back. I know I've been saying that for a while, but it really does look like it is. Jobs are coming back. That's what happened. That's always what happens. The steel mills there in Fontana, the Kaiser steel mills, they shut down for whatever reason. I think that all moved overseas, all of the steel manufacturing. And shortly after that, the air base, Norton Air Force Base there in San Bernardino. And so all of the industries that fed those, which were, smaller, industries, aerospace industries for the air base, all left, and it became sort of a bedroom community, for better or worse, for commuting, and were no real jobs. So, but it's a beautiful valley. I was out there again last week, and in the right weather, I just think it's just beautiful there. The mountains are so close. In the wintertime, they're covered with snow oftentimes, and the mountains there. I love the San Gabriel Mountains, and I spend a lot of time we live close to them here in Covina, and I was hiking up there again just this week. We go up as often as we can, but there's quite a bit more that you can do in the San Bernardino Mountains. There's a lot of, we lived up there. People live up there. Crestline, Lake Arrowhead, Big Bear, and it's a bigger area. It's more open to everything, I guess. But growing up, San Bernardino was much more rural. It was much more spread out. In the springtime, there were still citrus groves and the blossoms that you could smell. So it was a different place, and I have very fond memories of it. But as I said, the song is kind of bittersweet. But Bernardine is a reference to the patron saint of San Bernardino, Saint Bernardine, who, from what I have read from all reports, was kind of a hapless fellow, and nobody is quite sure how he became a saint. But he's ours, and we love him. This is called Sweet Bernadette. Sun beats down on an old dirt track. Broke down wagon never did turn back. Down through the mountains and the rocks and the weeds, down to the river and the cottonwood trees. Oh, sweet Bernadette. Oh, sweet Bernadette. When times were good, they never did last long. For Johnny and Juanita seemed to all go wrong. You try to make a living, try to stay ahead, try to do what you can to keep the little ones fed. Oh, sweet Bernadette. Oh, sweet Bernadette. Just 18 when I first left home. I drifted and I rambled just to try to stay gone. But the more I run, the more I see how this tired old town is still a part of me. Oh, sweet Bernadette. Oh, sweet Bernadette. Sun's come up and the heat's come down. It's hard luck living in a hard luck town. See, everywhere you go, people shake their heads. It's hard not to think that you'd be better off dead. Oh, sweet Bernadette. Oh, sweet Bernadette. Oh, sweet Bernadette. Oh, sweet Bernadette. So I have to ask, how is everybody doing? Are you all doing okay?
Yes.
Okay, okay. I haven't had people in front of me very often, so I forgot all about it. I need to check and see if everybody's okay. So, and usually, I should be saying hi to a few people. Would
Yeah.
you be able to write down anybody?
Yeah.
I'll start with a few people that I know for sure. I think Martha Rowley is probably watching up in Saxton's River. Better get my glasses here. Vermont. I hope everything is well with you, Martha, and you're doing. Oh, my son Matt. So I love you, Martha. Thank you for listening. My son Matt and his girlfriend Amber are listening right up here in the city of Azusa. A to Z in the USA. That's what Azusa stands for, in case you didn't know. My son Jesse and his girlfriend, our soon-to-be daughter-in-law Nikki, and our grandson Liam are listening out in Rancho Cucamonga. Was the Jack Benny show. They would name the towns as like if you were riding on the train. So Azusa was named. They would name Azusa, and then the last one they would name, and they would say it sort of exaggerated like that. Cucamonga.
So my son Jesse is always kind of making fun of the way I say it, but it has history, son. There's history to it. So my sister Cindy and my brother-in-law Jim up in Reno Sparks, Nevada, where we once saw George Jones playing at the Nugget, and we were all high on mushrooms. Don't ask me why. That's not anything that we ever did very often, but we were. We were high on mushrooms, and it was not announced on the billing or on the posters or anything like that. We got there early because there was a deal. If you paid $20, you got the prime rib dinner, which none of us wanted because we were high on mushrooms. But you got early seats. You got seats down in front. So we were sitting right down in front when the curtains came back, and Tina the Baby Elephant was the opening act. And we were all very, very high on mushrooms. So it was an experience, to say the least. My sister Joy in Rialto is listening. I love you, Joy. Cheryl out there in San Bernardino. Martha, as I said, up there in the Northeast Corridor, up there in Saxton's River, Vermont. Melissa in also from the train trips. Martha is part of the train tribe. Melissa Berger also from the train trips. I think you're down in Virginia, Maryland area. Forgive me if I got that wrong. Beth and Dave, excuse me, I'm mumbling here. Beth and Dave Irvin. I'm getting excited because I want to say where they live. They live in Peculiar, Missouri. I just get excited about saying that for some reason. So Beth and Dave Irvin in Peculiar, Missouri, and Beth and Dave do their own little Facebook Live performances. Wonderful, singing old country songs. Tune them in if you can. Kathy and Jeff Kervink down, I always say La Habra. I hope I've got that right. I think you're down in La Habra here in Southern California. Good friends, come to many shows. John Wilhelm just sent you an album. I hope it got there in good shape, John. Robert Ellis down there in Houston. I think things are going well finally again in Texas. Down there in Texas. Bob down there in Houston, also part of the Train Tribe. Bill Kuhn up there in Seattle, also part of the Train Tribe. Kaz Murphy out there in Desert Hot Springs. Kaz is an amazing singer and songwriter. Tune him in, check him out if you can. John White. John, I'm forgetting where you're from, but hello, John. Thank you for tuning in. Chips Lee Barranco, who works here at the Fred House, and a wonderful guitar player, wonderful musician, and the sweetest fellow you would ever want to meet. Chips in Covina, hometown kid. Hey, Covina. So Bob and Terry Nickum have been coming to my shows for as long as I can remember, going back, I don't know how many years. Love you, Bob and Terry, down in Orange County. Chris Keenan in Roscommon, Ireland. She stays up late. Chris, I love you. I hope the world gets back to normal and we can see each other before too long. Please say hi to everyone there for me. Joey Stafford. Joey, I think you're in the Pasadena area. Anyhow, played with just a wonderful drummer, wonderful guy, a wonderful musician. My friend Evangeline Elstein up there in Silver City, Nevada. Just the most charming little silver mining town you could ever imagine or ever see. She had us up there to play a show at the schoolhouse that goes back to the 1850s and all beautiful and fixed up. Wonderful, wonderful. Thank you, Evangeline. Love you. Glad you're tuning in. Dina the Wolf out there in the Salton Sea roaming around. Dina also part of the Train Tribe. Fred Ryan. Hello, Fred. Thank you for tuning in. My friend Mark Heffington, also from the Fred House here, tuning in up there in Big Bear Lake. Gary Elfering, who I know from playing honky-tonks and bars and misspending our youths. We were never in the same band together, but Gary is in the Chicago area now, I believe. John Morris, Big John, right, is up here also. I'm going to say Azusa also, close by. John, I'm glad you're tuning in, and I hope you're doing well, and I'm meaning to call you. I will give you a call. Cindy DeLingus, who is moved to Upland too, but is also from, she's a West Covina girl, I'm going to say that. So, dear friend of ours, we've known her for so many years, and her birthday was yesterday. Happy birthday, Cindy.
Anthony Cook, also a friend of the Fret House, also West Covina area, and a wonderful musician, wonderful bass player, plays with many, many bands. Adrian Ace Rice, wonderful singer and musician, has his own band called Coyote Moon down there in Orange County area. So thank you for tuning in, Ace. I'm going to do another couple of songs here off of the new album. This is a song called Big Rain Is Coming, Mama. And this is a favorite of the two grandkids right now. Our grandson Liam likes this song a lot. They play the video a lot, which is nice because we're racking up the hits on YouTube, thanks to the grandkids. And if you haven't seen the video, you should check it out because my friend Ron Resnick, again, kind of outdid himself. And there's a little line about chickens in there, and I said, we gotta, and a couple of other people mentioned. So he found a little clip, and he does his homework. He finds something that's sort of public domain and video land, I guess, but of about 100 chickens running right at the camera. So the kids get a kick out of that. So it's called Big Rain Is Coming. Where the big rain is coming, Mama, and start to batten it down. Hey, the rich folks all leaving, the big boats already left town. Well, I got a rusty old bucket and a busted old knife. Don't look like much, but it might save your life. Big rain is coming, Mama, better start to batten it down. Hey, the big wind is blowing, Mama, the leaves all starting to fly. You better close up your windows, bring all your chickens inside. When it starts with a whisper, turns into a scream, things start to shaking like you've never seen. Big wind is blowing, Mama, the leaves all starting to fly. Big storm's coming, Mama, the water's started to rise. You better start to take cover, try to find a place you can hide. Hey, let go of your grievances, it's time to move on. Say a little prayer, Mama, we might all be gone. Big rain is coming, Mama, better start to batten it down. That was a long line. Better start to batten it down. Hey, the rich folks all leaving, the big boats already left town. Well, I got a rusty old bucket and a busted old knife. Don't look like much, but it might save your life. Big rain's coming, Mama, better start to batten it down. Well, I got a busted old bucket and a rusty old knife. Don't look like much, but it might save your life, Mama. Big rain is coming, Mama, better start to batten it down. Hey, the big rain is coming, Mama, better start to batten it down. Hey, the big rain is coming, Mama, better start to batten it down.
out to Kessie and to Liam, the two grandkids. So Liam's our grandson, and Kessie is, and she was born. They were born like a day apart. Kessie was born the day after Liam was born, and she's my niece up in Reno Sparks area. I shouldn't have been telling the stories about magic mushrooms and then talking about grandkids. The kids are probably getting nervous, like, what are the parents up to here? Here's another song off of the new album. I wrote this for Susie. I've written a lot of songs about her and her family, and she's featured in ways that maybe only she and I would know in a lot of songs. But I had never written a song that was really just clearly and directly a love song for my wife. So I wrote this one for this album. This is called A Tender-Hearted Love. You can see it in her eyes, in her soft and gentle touch, the way she'll tease you with a smile, just a little, not too much. And when I'm alone in the dark, I just can't find my way, she's there to show me the light, softly call out my name. She's a tender-hearted love, a tender-hearted love. There's nothing here or up above like a tender-hearted love. On a sweet magnolia morning, all the blossoms on the tree, there's a simple kind of wonder in every single thing she sees. And when I'm alone in the dark, I just can't find my way, she's there to show me the light, softly call out my name. She's a tender-hearted love, a tender-hearted love. There's nothing here or up above, it's like a tender-hearted love. She's a tender-hearted love, a tender-hearted love. There's nothing here or up above, it's like a tender-hearted love. Sha-la-la-la-la, 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 sha-la-la-la-la. Baby. How we doing? Everybody still doing okay here? It's kind of quiet.
Not many of us.
Well, yeah, I know that.
You could still be a little louder. We've got about 8, what do we have?
2, 4, 6, 8 friends here that came out to join us. We're all spaced out. Spaced out, that sounds crazy. We're, separated, I should say. I'm the one that's spaced out, but socially distanced, and everyone's wearing masks. And many of us have been very fortunate and have been able to get vaccinated already. So we are as safe as we can be. So, and I really appreciate everybody coming out. Thank you very much. I've got a few more songs here. Here's another song off of the new album. It's called the Nashville Blues. I've got a lot of friends in Nashville. That's one of the lines in the song, actually. But and Nashville has always been a wonderful, welcoming, and just a beautiful place to me. But I wrote this song, which is kind of goofy a little bit to me, but some of it seems, actually really fairly honest. And I never meant for it to be directed in any particular place, even though it's called the Nashville Blues. It's really, to me, it's more just about show business in general. And really just what a crazy thing it is to do to try and have any sort of a career in show business. And kind of how many of us that spend a lifetime doing it seem to know the least about it. So, anyhow, this is called the Nashville Blues. I'm real glad I never went to Nashville. Yeah, things probably wouldn't have worked out anyway. Well, I've got a lot of friends that moved to Nashville. Sometimes they say they wonder why they stay. Well, I might have had some better luck in Nashville. Might have got a better gig or two. Yeah, but all the drunks and fallen stars in the honky-tonks and bars say I'm better off at home singing the blues. Yeah, folks used to say, man, you've got to move to Nashville. That's where Hank and George and Johnny got their start. And yeah, it's true, they all got real big in Nashville. It's also where their lives all fell apart. But still, a good song can make you rich in Nashville. At least that's what I've always heard folks say. But then you're bound to go insane with girls and sweet cocaine. I guess that's just the price you gotta pay. I guess I'm never gonna get to Nashville. I guess I'll just stay here and sing the blues. But if you go and see my friends in Nashville, well, say hello and have a drink or two. Well, I don't know shed a tear for Nashville, or worry about the way things might have been. All you can do is play your cards. Sometimes your dreams die hard, and I guess that's just the way things happen in the end. Hey, all you can do is play your cards. Sometimes your dreams die hard, and I guess that's just the way things happen in the end. So I'll do a couple of more songs if that's okay. For those of you in the Train Tribe that happen to be listening, Marty Bergen is here representing the Train Tribe. So is Cheryl Connick. So the Train Tribe is well represented here tonight. But Bob Bergen was supposed to be here, but because of a family, there's a family emergency and he couldn't make it. So, but I had this on the set list for him. He's always liked this song. This song is called Que Mas Quieres, and it's Que Mas Quieres, Que Mas Puedo Hacer is a phrase I used to hear my father-in-law use when he's been gone for many years now, very sadly. But my father-in-law and mother-in-law, Susie's mom and dad, would come over to the house, and like a lot of families of that era, they spoke Spanish to each other, but not so much to the kids. Best of intentions, of course, but I used to hear him use this phrase from time to time. Que mas quieres, que mas puedo hacer. It means, what more do you want? What else can I do? And they seemed like wise words for a married man to learn in any language. And Bob likes to refer to this song as, I think he calls it the married man's lament. So I'll leave that at that. Unless you'd like to add, Marty, that'd be okay. Okay. So this goes out to our friend Bob Bergen, and I hope you get to tune into the program later on. Feel free to sing along. You know the chorus now. Baby, I don't wanna cry, but if you want, I'll go ahead. Well, honey, I just want you back. If you want me to, I'll bet. Girl, you caught me in a lie. Some little foolish thing I said. Well, honey, I apologize. Please forgive and forget. Que mas quieres, que mas puedo hacer. Tell me, what do you want? Baby, please hear my prayers. Que mas quieres, que mas puedo hacer. Let me prove that I love you. Let me prove that I care. Girl, I know you've been hurt, and I know that you've cried, and you know I still love you. That much can't be denied. Oh, please say you'll come back, and everything is okay. Girl, what more do you want? Girl, what more can I say? Que más quieres? Que más puedo hacer? Tell me, what do you want? Baby, please hear my prayers. You que más quieres? Que más puedo hacer? Let me prove that I love you. Let me prove that I care. Okay, last chance. Que más quieres? Que más puedo hacer? You can sing louder than that. Tell me, what do you want? Baby, please hear my prayer. One more time. Que más quieres? Que más puedo hacer? Let me prove that I love you. Not bad. Let me prove that I care. Thank you very much. Fine singing. So I'll wrap this up here real quick. I'll do one of my favorite Hank Williams songs. I'm pretty sure this is probably the first Hank Williams song that I heard, and I loved it when I was a little kid. I'm sure it wasn't the Hank Williams version. It was probably Fats Domino or somebody like that. It's been recorded by many, many people. But now that I've got everybody singing along, feel free to join in on this one. Goodbye, Joe. Me gotta go. Me ho my oh. Me gotta go. Pull the pirogue down the bayou. My Yvonne, the sweetest one. Me ho my oh. Yes, son of a gun, we're gonna have big fun on the bayou. Yeah, jambalaya, crawfish pie, and a filet gumbo. Lord, tonight I'm gonna see my Michelle Mio. We'll dress in style and go all wild. Me oh my oh. Yes, son of a gun, we're gonna have big fun on the bayou. Yeah, Fountaino, Thibodeau, the place is buzzing. Kinfolk come to see Yvonne by the dozens. We'll pick guitars, fill fruit jars, big ale. Yes, son of a gun, we're gonna have big fun on the bayou. Yeah, jambalaya and a crawfish pie and a filet gumbo. Lord, tonight I'm gonna see my Michelle Mio. We'll pick guitars, fill fruit jars, and big ale. Yes, son of a gun, we're gonna have big fun on the bayou. Fountaino, Thibodeau, the place is buzzing. Kinfolk come to see Yvonne by the dozen. We'll dress in style and go hog wild. Me oh my oh. Yes, son of a gun, we're gonna have big fun on the bayou. Yeah, jambalaya and a crawfish pie and a filet gumbo. Lord, tonight I'm gonna see Michelle Mio. We'll dress in style and go all wild. Me oh my oh. Hey, son of a gun, we're gonna have big fun on the bayou. Yeah, jambalaya and a crawfish pie and a filet gumbo. Lord, tonight I'm gonna see my Michelle Mio. We'll pick guitars, fill fruit jars, and big ale. son of a gun, we're gonna have big fun on the bayou. Yes, son of a gun, we're gonna have big fun on the bayou. Yes, son of a gun, we're gonna have big fun on the bayou. So thank you very much. I will be back in 2 weeks from, we'll be doing the show from at home. You don't happen to know the date of that, do you, baby? Anyhow, whatever 2 weeks from today is, April. And thank you all for joining us here from the Fret House. I'll be back here at the Fret House the first Saturday of next month. Come hell or high water. Thank you to everyone here at the Fret House. Please visit the Fret House website for any and all of your musical needs, especially guitars. And good night. I'm waiting for Susie to come shut the thing down while I sit here and wave and wave and wave and wave. Thank you everybody for coming out. Can you see what you're doing there, baby? Okay. Bye-bye.